On the topic of estate planning, what have you learned when it comes to divorce and divorcing? What do you think works? What have you seen doesn't work? So if you could share a little bit about how estate planning and divorce are related.
So, first of all, I find that a lot of people just don't have an estate plan, period, when they come to me in the divorce. And it's something that is very important to consider, like even at the beginning, because I have had cases, and I know a lot of my colleagues have, where, one of the spouses have died like during the divorce process. So that can get a little bit tricky. Certainly, once the divorce is finalized, one of the first things that I recommend my clients do is to update their estate documents, to reflect the new status and, to change their beneficiaries and everything that they need to do. If you're going to get remarried, that's something that you also want to think about, especially if you have children from another marriage, from a previous marriage. You want to make sure they're covered, and you want to reassess your estate plan before getting remarried as well.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you've seen instances where one of the spouses during the divorce dies. So what would happen in that scenario? Are they still considered married in terms of asset distribution?
They're still considered married in terms of asset distribution. And again, a lot of people just don't have an estate plan. So, and especially if you have children and you just really just didn't plan for what you want to happen to your assets, it could get a bit tricky.
Oh, yes. I could see a scenario where, so in New York, for those of you who don't know, each state has their own intestate laws or the laws that kick in when you die without a will. And so in New York, the first $50,000 of your assets goes to your spouse, and then the rest is divided 50-50 between your children and your spouse. So if you're in the process of divorcing and you have children either from a previous marriage or this marriage, your spouse is getting the first 50,000, the spouse that you're divorcing, plus half of the rest of it. So, wow, this is a great scenario, a great motivation to make sure you have a plan before and right when you're starting to talk about divorcing.